All
Word for
right,
word.
video is going, and now we're about to start show in 3, 2, 1.
Just drop that ass, bitch. It's open micers in the house. Pop that pussy with that open micers logo in your mouth. Jason with his bald ass head. Jacob looking in bed. It's open micers, bitch. Heard what I said. Drop that ass. Open micers in the house. Drop that ass, pop that pussy. Open micers in the house. Open micers in the house. Open micers is a mouse. Drop that ass, pop that pussy. Open micers in the house. The mic is now
That's
open.
right, the mic is now open. My name is Jason Robbins.
I'm Jacob Craig. And, usually when we have on a guest, I give them a whole spiel or whatever before we start about how everything's going to go. And usually I mention at the very end, I'm like, oh, yeah, we have the worst podcast theme song of all time.
It gets longer every time I play it.
It gets very much longer. It's just and I usually mention like, oh, it's just a meme. Don't worry about it. It's just fucking. It's just a joke. It's just a jokey fun. And I forgot to do that this time. So watching our guest be like, we talked a little bit for a few minutes and he's like, all right, I'm getting comfortable, and watching him slowly pull out when the theme song comes on. I don't know who the fuck these guys are or what I'm doing here. But I want to bring him. I want to loop him into this conversation before we get too far into this. I mean, he is a truly fantastic comedian who as the mastermind behind the Red Clay Comedy Festival. He has a special out right now on Apple TV and YouTube called Iraqi Born, Georgia Bred, as the one and only Gilbert Lawand. How are you doing, my friend?
Hey, good. Thanks for having me. That was exactly what I was thinking with the theme song, because we had just talked about a fake right-wing persona, and then I was like, pop that pussy, open mic. Are they messing with me? Are they fucking with me right now?
Yeah, this whole thing's a trap. Like, we're trying to get you canceled.
I'm in. Fine.
Yeah, we were talking
That's a
before.
Theme song, actually, because it sounds like an open micer's like dream. Somebody had just started, and they were like, "Okay, open mic, popping pussy." I mean, let's do let's go full in comedy.
Because we were talking before the show started, like what would it would be like if he came in here and you were just like full on like hardcore right wing, and then we like end up on Fox News and like we get all these new listeners that like hardcore right wing. Like, would you sell yourself out to become like create a like a hard right?
Like a satire. Let's say a satire.
Not even just a satire, but just being like, create a persona and just go all in on it, pretending to be this hardcore right-wing person just for money. Because you'd make a ton of money.
I would do it not for money, but to prove a point. If I could stick to the character, and that point would be how fucking stupid that world is. That was the right way, like the Dinesh D'Souza's, the guy who's always back right of every Trump speech. It was like, oh wow, there's two black guys right behind him. It's like they have a lot of supporters. It's just these like almost token. It's almost like a good get. Like this brown guy. Like they have like Dinesh D'Souza and all these Indian, like a couple Indian conservative people that they kind of value pretty highly, because they're like, hey, get him in here for this interview. And I feel like if I mean, I would never do it, but if I ever did it, it would be to prove how ridiculous that world is, to infiltrate with just a couple slurs here and there, a couple of a couple of homophobic stories, and then you're like, wow, this guy's a star.
Yeah, it's crazy how that's kind of what it takes now too. Like, not only in politics, but like in comedy too. Like, you watch an episode of Kill Tony and like everyone's bombing with pretty okay material, and then one guy says like the homophobic F slur, and everyone's like, oh my God, absolutely incredible.
Reading awful, comics like right out of the gate. And it's like when I hear something like that, every now and then a comic will be like, oh, you're too sensitive. I'm like, I'm sensitive as a comedian. I've never been offended in my life. I understand some people get offended, but like 99.9% of those jokes aren't funny. Like, you can tell a joke that's awful and still be funny, but they're never even like close to funny. You know what I mean? The whole point of it is the shock value, like, who you're familiar with Martin Urbano? He's like he's hilarious. Look him up. He has a new special. Chris Gethard, I think, produced it. All
Okay.
his jokes are really wrong. Like they're all he's a character, but they're so well written that everybody knows it's like not him.
Yeah.
But that's it's like you laugh and you're like, oh man, I don't want to be laughing. But when somebody's just like, hey, the N word this, and you're like, okay, where's the joke though? Where's even the attempt at it? Is the part that kind of I get
Yeah.
offended by. You know?
Yeah, I kind of miss the way it used to be where like, like Louis C.K. said the N-word in a special, I think, but he did it so masterfully that he
Oh,
got away with
masterfully.
fucking recording it and putting it out there to the world.
He said that special you're talking about. He said the N word. He said cunt, and then he said the F word too, like faggot, and all in the first 7 minutes. And it really was masterfully done. If you can possibly do that with those words,
Yeah.
he did it. And like I don't know if he could still do it now, but it was masterfully done. It was done in a way where the one thing led to the other thing. The joke was very clever and very like very a lot of misdirection and smart. But even if you like got offended by it, you knew that he was attempting a joke rather than being like, wait till you hear the last word in this joke. It's just
Right.
like, okay, you know, I
Yeah.
don't know.
And I have to say, I'm sure that you're a guy who, you watch a lot of comedy and have to judge it kind of, because you are, behind the Red Clay Comedy Festival. So you've seen a lot of like submission tapes in your day.
Well,
Is
so many.
is there one like, specific thing that you see in all through all these tapes that you watch where you're like, okay, if I see this, then I'm probably not going to accept this person into the festival?
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's it's both a specific thing, but also a general. Like it's one of those like things where the comic opens with something like something right out of the gate that's like not a joke, but more like a word or a specific um disparaging comment that's just like, oh, like kind of a bravado thing where it's like, where it's just like, oh, I'm kind of an alpha guy. It's like because being cool is not not really, it doesn't really mesh with good comedy
Yeah.
usually. You know what I mean? So as soon as you see somebody like, all right, like, and they're like, look at this fat guy. It's like, what you're just like, you haven't introduced yourself to the crowd and you're already being like, they always say when you're green, you go blue to show you're not yellow. So it's like when you're new, you're extra dirty to show
Mhm.
you're not like scared, and that's what I see. Also, something that's crazy that I see is tapes where there's no laughter at all, like nothing. Like it could even be an amazing set, but I'm like, you got to get a tape where there's some laughter in it. Like even if it's like even if you're like so sure that this material is great, but it's like how do you think this went?
Right.
when you're when you're speaking to silence. But yeah, I've seen a lot of it. It's most of it is that shock value stuff where it's like, the Skankfest world where it's just like, man, that joke was great. It's like, was it a joke or was it more just like a mean thing to say about somebody at the end of that little story?
Yeah.
I don't know. I make fun of it a lot in my special. The people they're like, I'm not politically correct. It's like, well, you're probably a terrible comedian too. Also, if you have to announce that, like
Yeah.
you buckle up. It's like buckle up for what? Like the jokes or the fact that if you offend somebody, it's like you're kind of already lost in a way because you can even do offensive material, but if the overarching like response is being offended, then you lost either way. You can't just blame it on sensitivity. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
Jeselnik is really great at that. He's constantly chasing that laugh that people don't want to. They laugh and they feel bad about themselves for laughing,
Yeah.
which is like it's interesting to me.
And
Yeah.
to me,
Yeah.
and like you were talking about, like the whole macho thing. That's the thing that really bugs me with comedy now. Is like the guys that come out that are like super alpha, like, oh, I'm gonna,
Yeah.
just like instantly, just like I'm gonna offend everybody. Like that's why, like when I
Or they're
write
constantly
jokes.
trying to burn each other.
Yeah, I want to
That
make everybody feel, even if I am making fun of like say, people say I'm punching down or whatever. I want them to be in on the joke. I don't want to be just making fun of people. I want people to be able to laugh at themselves.
Totally. Like you have to be able to not take yourself seriously. It's that counterintuitive thing that we all learned growing up, and some people didn't learn. But when you don't care about being cool, that's cool.
Yeah.
But when you're like, when you're taking like 2 hours to like make your hair look like it's carefully disheveled, it's like you care too much and you're trying to be cool, which is not cool at all. You know what I mean? It's like people are like,
Yeah, I can't do that.
I don't give a shit. It's like, yeah, you do, because people that don't give a shit don't have to constantly tell you they don't give a shit. Just don't give a shit.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I have to say too, like kind of going in the other way, like one thing, obviously, I mean, this probably isn't something that a lot of open micers are doing, but I try to keep up and watch most of the specials that come out, just to see kind of like what the bigger comedians are doing or whatever. And something that I've noticed that's making a huge comeback with people like maybe from an older generation of comedy, like Gabriel Iglesias's new special. He did it for almost setting up every single punchline with a statement that obviously everyone in the audience, if they are in a total piece of shit, is going to agree with, so that he gets we love you. Of course. The fucking
aggressive agreement.
Exactly.
You're like, you're standing in a room with progressive people. You're like, you know what? I think gay people should be able to get married. And everybody's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We all think that. We all think. It's like,
and it's not even. It's not even going that far. It's like fucking. I think that gay people shouldn't be fucking strung up and shot. Yay! Like obviously, no one fucking thinks that, dude.
I know.
Like, come up with a different setup.
And then they'll even like even kind of make it even more general, where they're like, you know what? What people do that, whatever people do that doesn't affect me, I'm fine with that. It's like, wow, aren't you like Mr. Tolerant? It's like,
yeah, it's a breakthrough, dude.
Something that doesn't affect you at all, you're cool with. Oh wow, that's great. It's like when when they first started talking like this, when they were like, I don't care if you're black, brown, or purple, or it's like, well, first of all, there's no purple people. So like, what are you trying to say? Like, I'm just, you know what I mean? You're just like overgeneralizing something to try to like establish that you're generic. Like, I mean, no one's like, you know what? I do care. I do hate people that don't affect me still. Like right now, there's two gay guys getting along, and I'm just so mad about it.
And that would be, not to go too far into the right wing thing, that would be a funny thing for a comic to just come out and do.
Would be.
Just be like, I'm fucking seething that gay marriage is legal.
I think saying it in that tone, what they're actually like, the way they use language is pretty. It's like propaganda 101, where they're like woke. Like, do you remember when woke just became a slur or some kind of bad, like woke meant like you're awake, like you're attuned to the current issues and struggles that the people that are disenfranchised are experiencing. Then then one day it was like, are you woke? But it's more like, hey, are you one of those people that just accepts people? Are you just like really open-minded? Look at this guy, he's open-minded. It's like, why are you saying it like that? Why are you saying Antifa? You're saying anti-fascist? Fucking Antifa guy. No, just say the whole word. This fucking anti-fascist guy. It's like, they turn words on into their into disparaging insults when their definition is like the opposite. Calling somebody woke now is almost certainly an insult, right? No one's like, hey man, this guy's awesome, he's woke, which it should be like a kind of a compliment.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's something that I think could like really easily be like a Jordan Klepper sketch or something like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm the opposite of Antifa. Like, okay, so that's a fascist.
I know.
Exactly. That's a fucking Nazi, bro.
This fucking Antifa guy, get him out of my sight. Why? Because you're the other part of it. You're fat.
Because you're pho. Are you pho, dude?
That's what I was trying to do. I was like, what is it? You're pho?
What the fuck?
No. I don't eat pho. Pho? Is it pho or pho? I don't eat that kind of food either. They need to go back to their countries.
Yeah, dude. Everyone that makes pho needs to just go back.
Yeah, I love to yell at brown people. Go, hey, go back to my country. I mean, wait, what?
Dude, you would be perfect to make a fucking right wing like.
I know so many ways. I've thought about it a lot. Like even my background. Like I was born in Baghdad to Catholic parents, and so it's an old culture called Chaldean or Assyrian. So I speak Aramaic, like the language Jesus spoke.
Really?
So I find it, yeah, it's like not, it's like, there's the largest population of Assyrian people is in Dearborn. There's probably like 60,
Hmm. Yeah,
80,000.
yeah.
It's not that widely spoken, but so I am more attuned and look more like their savior and like Jesus, right? They're, like I find it funny that a white supremacist believes like wholeheartedly in Jesus, the brown guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're just like,
Yeah.
I'm a white supremacist. That's why I like Jesus. It's like, no, he looked like me, and if he was here, I could talk to him, and you couldn't. Like, so I love doing the right wing thing where it's like, oh man, Jesus. I mean, he was the best. He hated fucking capitalism. I mean, he would definitely be uh, for universal health care. I mean, right? It's like, yeah, he would be.
Not
It's
not
just
right
funny
wing
that
Jesus.
not right wing. Right wing Jesus wants to take companies public every
Yeah.
year.
Dude, just thinking about Jesus coming back and then getting abducted by ICE because he didn't have papers.
I know. They're like, oh, okay, look at those sandals, that brown guy. Which kind of Mexican are you? Because we're taking you to one of these places.
Yeah. And
When
he
did
speaks
That's
like
what it.
no English at all.
Yeah, and he speaks a language that sounds like Arabic, and they're like, okay, calm down,
Yeah.
9/11 guy.
when
Make a
exactly
stand and put him in a shipping container.
when
Yeah,
exactly
he's
did
he's in this like dark. He's in this like holding detention center where they're like, there's one of these guys over here. He's like cured two blind people over here. Like maybe we like. Have you seen this guy? He didn't have any papers, but he keeps curing all kinds of ailments
Yeah.
over here.
Have
Maybe
I
he
seen
is
this guy? He
Jesus.
cured my blindness.
Yeah, cured my blindness, but he keeps talking about everything being equal, and that's not my Jesus.
I gouged my eyes back out, is what I did.
Yeah, yeah. He cured the blind. Yeah, that's funny.
he keeps making wine in the toilet? We got to get him out of there.
Yeah, he's running the whole jail cell right
He's
now.
just
I
making a
love.
toilet wine. Fucking
Yeah,
ICE prison, dude.
yeah. ICE prison. He's like gotten all of the factions together. It's like the Nazis and the like all the militant groups, the Latinos. They're all like in one group now. It's like, oh yeah, that means time to kill him. I guess that's
Yeah. The Latinos would be
yeah,
fucking on his side to the end, dude, not fucking Jesus.
yeah.
They're rallying behind Jesus in there, dude.
They're like, hey, Sus, how are you? How are you, man?
So when exactly did white Jesus start? Like the nicely
When
bearded guy with the long blonde hair. Like when did that start?
and
Is
the
that a
abs.
medieval thing?
I think it is. I thought about that the other day because I was thinking about this premise, and I was like, so like it started at some point because it exists now, but it's just funny to like the town I grew up in is very small, South Georgia town, and the Catholic church my mom goes to still, and she sometimes reminds them that like she's from Iraq, like present day Iraq. He doesn't look like that, and they're like they don't go, oh, hush your mouth or shut up, but they don't exactly agree either. Not like they're like, oh yeah, we know that. They're like, oh yeah, don't remind us that one on the wall up there with the abs and the and the
Yeah.
perfectly like semi like barely tan skin. That's my Jesus. It's like, well, okay, whatever you want to believe.
Yeah, because
So,
you
You
don't
you
see
know,
see it
too many
raves.
surfer guys just kind of hang around in the Middle East, just like from there. That's not like
there's nowhere to
California.
surf on.
Yeah, it's nowhere to serve.
They're sledding on sand.
Yeah, in Iraq, it's like the Tigris and Euphrates, but rivers they don't have waves. So it's like, where's he gonna
Yeah.
find his like hang? Where's he gonna hang ten? You
Yeah.
know?
No. So growing up, you mentioned you're born in Iraq, bred in Georgia. That's where the title of the special comes from. What was it like? And forgive me if you touch on this in the special. I'm sure you do. I haven't had a chance to check it out yet. What was it like growing up in bumfuck nowhere, Georgia, as a brown guy that speaks two languages?
I mean, it's funny to think about even now because it wasn't a constant like I mean, I definitely felt different like, but it wasn't a constant like thing. It wasn't like I didn't experience that many moments of like, oh, that's blatantly racist or whatever. But
Mhm.
because you grow up with kids, like I was 6 when we moved here. So when you grow up with people, they don't really. Although this area was super racist, like and segregated. Even like I'm 50, I'm pretty old, but I'm not old enough to have lived in a segregated like community. Like
Yeah.
when I graduated high school, it was a little small private school. In '92, it was the 25th year of that school, and at that point, no black person had ever gone to that school
Holy shit, dude! You were
Wow.
the
ever.
closest one.
Yeah, exactly.
You were
It was like the
testing the
small school,
waters.
like
You
I
were
was,
the test
and
guy.
so totally. And then I start thinking about like, why did they let us in? And then I get like to start going in and really like really sort of condescending. Like I'm like, well, maybe because all of our SAT scores were way higher than theirs. I mean, I guess that's maybe that's why.
Yeah,
And
dude, the
we're
school
like me
needed
and my
money.
yeah, and my brother and I are really good at sports, and like, and we're also like better athletes than them. So it's kind of hard to look down. And like, what else? I was like, oh yeah, that Mercedes 500 SEL that my dad had shipped from Germany on a boat to this small town is worth more than this entire like generation's family tree. So what exactly would you be looking down on us for?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all exaggerated, but it's kind of funny to be like, oh, you're cute, you're being racist, and but you're not superior to me in any way that's identifiable at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, at that point, no black person had ever gone there, and it was 1992. So 25 years prior was 1967, and there's a whole um, large uh, group of high schools, private schools, still in Georgia that started in the late 60s for that reason, so they could stay segregated. And it's like it's so it was so that part of it was kind of like, like, whoa, this guy's he's tan, but he's not, so whatever. So there was that kind of thing. Um, but overall, there wasn't like, although people are just so willfully ignorant, it's hilarious. Like we're from Iraq, and we've had like the same neighbors for 30 something years, right? They're not that close because it's a small town, like half a mile away. And I ran into somebody like about a year ago at a convenience store, and he's like, "Now, you guys are from Iraq?" I'm like, "Really? Like, you really don't remember like the country that's been in the news the whole time? That we're like, you can't remember which one your brown neighbor's from? Like, it's like, are you proud of being this dumb? Like, it's crazy. Or no, is it Iraq or is it India? It's like, holy shit, dude, that's
Yeah.
impressively stupid.
I don't know. I feel like that might be like the nice Southern way of being
Yeah,
like,
it
because
could
you
be.
know for sure that they knew exactly what country you were from.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's probably like that. Oh, just the southern the whatever you call it, like the, basically being fake. It's like
Yeah. It's the
it's like to the
Southern way
point
of
where
being like, bless your heart, you were born in
bless your
Iraq.
heart. Oh my God, you're born in Iraq. How are things going over there? Are we still in that country? Are we still looking for those weapons? What am I supposed to think?
Yeah, that's when you're just like, I actually have them here.
Yeah,
You all thought it was a Mercedes. It was a
yeah,
WMD, motherfucker.
yeah. We grew up on a farm too, so I'm just like thinking the whole time they're going, "What's going on in that farm over there? Where are they farming? Atria toward the west? What's going on over there?"
It's like in fucking Superman when they hide the capsule that he crashed to Earth in under the fucking barn. It's just
Oh
the
yeah.
WMD they were looking for in Iraq.
Aren't you shocked that we didn't just plant some weapons at one point? Weren't you like at some point we're gonna find some ones under some sand? Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Superman, you know what I thought about? Do you remember that when he became a human so he could be with Lois
Yeah.
or whatever, and he got his ass kicked at that
Mhm.
diner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I remember going, man, I hate that guy. That guy's beating up Superman right now.
Yeah.
Never thinking, dude, what are you doing? You're gonna do that? You could probably still have sex with her.
Yeah.
Come on,
Like you could
Superman.
let her blow you.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
you could like you could get blown by everyone.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I
And
think
if you
he had a
could,
pretty good point in Mallrats when he was talking about Superman probably ejaculates like a shotgun.
Yeah, but it's a pullout game, man. Come on. You got to have the super pullout game.
Yeah, you have to. But also the whole turning the Earth backwards. That's a whole game changer too. It's like how many problematic things did Superman actually do? How many Me Too things did he do? And he's like, I gotta go turn back time for a minute.
And
It's like, uh,
like Superman, he figured out how to do that the first time because he's actually like super religious, but it's not an abortion if he just turns the Earth back around.
yeah. It's like, he has until the cum goes right back into his penis, super penis. It's like, all right,
It's like unlimited nuts. I cracked the code.
yeah.
Unlimited pies.
Like, we have to. His high school buddy's like, we have to do it in the butt to maintain our sanctity. You go back in time. This is awesome, dude. This is so cool.
He calls that Plan B. Ba-dum!
Plan B.
So did he really turn the Earth backwards, or did he just like go past the speed of light and everything just went backwards?
I don't know. It's unclear because like he did make the Earth start spinning the opposite way. I think.
But was it
Which
spinning the
has no
opposite way because he was like going back in time? Or did he actually
think he was
stop the Earth? Because if you stop the Earth like that, didn't Neil deGrasse Tyson say something about if you stop?
Yeah, you fly off.
Yeah, everybody would fly off.
Dude, that's where we draw the line. Is how you stop the Earth. That's where the line is.
Yeah. Because if you're gonna do something that
makes-
irresponsible, I mean, you're Superman. You got to know that if you stop the rotation of the Earth, people are gonna fly off of it.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, damn it, I got to go to another planet. That's how he keeps losing people at planets. He's like, oh, just like that massive human extinction again because I forgot about the whole planet spinning thing.
Yeah.
I think that's I was trying to like equate that to what like people like Elon Musk and like these like really really rich white powerful men. It's like a physics problem where you don't feel the Earth spinning right now, spinning like 6,000 miles per hour
Mhm.
because it's constant. But if we slow down a little bit, we'd like fly or like whatever. So that's why I feel like people like Rogan and other people who are so worried about like freedom of speech. You can't even say anything as a white guy. It's like, no, because you say one little thing and somebody gives you a little bit of criticism, you're like, oh my God, did you just feel that? It's kind of slowed down a little bit. So they feel like the actual slowing down of their world, but not realizing they're still hauling so much ass. You're like, dude, you're still going way faster than everybody. Don't get so bogged down in the fact that you're now going 5,998 miles per hour when everybody else is going real slow. It's like, oh, did you feel that? I mean, we gotta make sure that we're not replaced. It's like
I mean,
I don't
Elon
know.
Musk
White power
wants
is what I'm trying to say.
Elon Musk
Hell yeah,
wants
brother.
to go to Mars. Can't we just make that happen? Just let him go.
I know.
Just
Yeah,
let him
just
go.
him. Like just him go up there.
Yeah, just him.
All of a
Just
sudden
him.
we're all like trying to lobby for all these grants. Like give him all the grants he needs. We got to get him to Mars.
Yeah, we got to get
Yeah.
him the fuck off this planet. Get him and Jeff Bezos all on the same fucking rocket and just send them to Mars. Be like, you can have it.
I think they'd be down for that. I mean, the four richest people in the world have like one thing in common. They all have like space companies. They all have like rocket companies. And you're like, okay, that seems a little strangely coincidental. It's like,
Yeah, but the
But
thing
I would
is,
love
like,
for Musk to go.
it just shows you that all the money in the world, like these guys literally have all the money in the world, and it still doesn't like make them happy. Like they still have to
I ain't
fuck
even
with
close to
everybody.
happy.
Like if I had
mean-
$400 billion, you know how often you would see me? Never. You would never see me ever.
But see,
And if you saw me, it would be like crazy instances where I just show up in a like a Brazilian like village and be like, guess who's rich? Every one of you. And then I'll just
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
because it would not do it. Like his amount of wealth is staggering. Like he's almost twice as wealthy as Bezos now. Like it's 400 billion.
I mean, just
It's insane.
He could literally take $300 billion and just give everybody in America like, a couple $1 million a piece. Like just write everybody a check and be like, here, fix poverty and still have
I know.
$100 billion left over.
You're right. And I think if you pitched it to him the right way, he would do it because all he's doing right now is trying to be liked because he was never liked because he's He's awful. He's got a terrible personality. He's like, cocky and like just not very pleasant. So all these things he's doing now, I think, is a roundabout way of trying to get acceptance still, even though he's like so rich. So if you like said, hey man, you want to be the most popular person in the world, here's the number. You got to just do that, and everybody's gonna actually love you, and not like fake love you. Like the people that on that side, I don't envy when you have to do things like listen to asinine statements from people like that, or try to explain away a Nazi salute and be like, no, no, that's a Roman salute. Oh, we always knew that. Everybody knew that. It's like, okay, I'm glad I don't have to do that kind of shit.
Dude, can I just say, I think that Elon Musk might secretly be like the dumbest fucking person on the planet.
I think so too.
Like I know he has billions of dollars and did all this like fucking whatever he did, okay? But he literally just has all the money in the world and it comes down to I want to play with cars and I want to go to space. Like
Yeah.
that's literally fucking 5-year-old
Dude,
behavior.
I've literally said the
It's-
same thing about Donald Trump. I think they're both really stupid people, and they literally have just fallen upward their whole lives.
I totally. The more you look into it, the more I think you're right. Because when I first was aware of Musk, I truly thought he was like, Tony Stark, like the
Yeah.
guy who's rich but knows the math. He does not know physics. He does not know like deep differential equations, and he's not an engineer. He bought Tesla, and then he like poured money into it to make it like legit. And like he's done things that are visionary from an entrepreneur standpoint, but he's not smart. He's not like the smart. He's not like Tesla, like the real Tesla.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like a very great entrepreneur. And Trump is very obviously an idiot. I mean, truly, like he's the shit he says is just. I mean, he's an idiot. I mean, I think there was a time when he like was clever enough to like do deals, but I think that dude's a fucking idiot. I don't think he knows things like normal things. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that the Knives Out movie, The Glass Onion?
Yeah. That's obviously Elon Musk. I mean,
Yeah. So
What's it
so
called?
literally the guy, it's like a Knives Out mystery or whatever. It's the sequel to Knives Out. Literally the guy, and spoilers if no one's seen it or whatever, if you care. But like, there's this guy who's like a genius who invites everyone to his private island, and like he invites the detective guy from a Knives Out to like solve this murder mystery for his birthday or whatever. And then he starts like people actually start dying, and then the twist of the movie is like the guy that invited everyone to the island was the one killing people, and he's like, piecing it all together, and the guy's like, yeah, you were able to find out it was me because I'm so smart, so it could only be me, right? And he's like, no, you're actually a fucking dumbass. You're actually the dumbest person on this island. I knew it was you because you left such obvious clues that it was fucking you, and you're an idiot, and you stole all your money. Like that's literally these guys. They're literally
Oh,
the
that
guy
sounds like
from
it's based on him too. Like it does sound like it's based.
yeah, that's literally
Yeah.
like Elon Musk is literally the killer from Glass Onion.
I mean, they're like this self-made visionary. It's like, oh, by self-made you mean his father had a very, very incredible, wealthy, lucrative mining business in South Africa. By the way, what was going on in South Africa in their mining industry when he was growing up?
Oh
Was
shit,
there
dude.
some great labor?
Oh no.
Was there was there was there like low cost labor that it's like you've been stupid rich the
Yeah.
whole time. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? And the worst kind of rich.
and you know,
Like it's like
it's what bugs me the most is people. I mean, this shit's just out in the open. I mean, it's not like it's hidden, but yet people are still like, yeah, MAGA, like love
know,
these guys
yeah.
and vote for them and just like live for these fucking guys. And it's like they don't give two fucks about you
Yeah.
at
They don't.
all.
And listen, we all three here know like the South pretty intimately, which is where like a lot of this mindset comes from. Can we theorize real quick, like what is it about like this southern region that makes everyone that same way?
Religion.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
yeah.
would say I'll say it's grounded in religion, but I think it's also it's like an opposing force that's necessary that makes this region so great, because there are those kind of people, but so much great art comes out of the South because of that. Like some of the best musicians, and like, like artists and comedians. Like it's like this it's like being willfully ignorant is like there's a life you can, a good life you can live. And so, like they just hand it down from one generation to the next. They're just like, hey man, I'm gonna tell you a secret. You don't have to read or anything, and just be stupid and you'll be cool. In fact,
Yeah.
that's the only way to be cool in
That's
certain places. You
something
know what I
that's
mean?
always worried me, especially like growing up in the South and always kind of being more aware of my surroundings, I guess, for some reason. And I don't know how it happened. But just to see everybody around me use being dumb as like a badge of honor. Like it's
Totally.
something, it's like, well, I didn't go to college, like not going to college and not learn, like trying to better yourself is like.
First of all, I feel attacked. First of all, fuck you.
But do you know what I'm saying? Like people use it as like like being stupid is like a badge of honor in the South.
Yeah,
And
it's like they think they're more pure,
yeah.
not tainted. Like I used to get in arguments with people because before I did comedy, I was like a corporate, I'm a CPA and an MBA, like from Emory, and like I was a
Oh, you
consultant,
hoop?
and like, huh?
You play
Yeah.
basketball?
Well, no, I played basketball, but like I'm saying, like
Oh,
I
you
had
said you're
like
an
a life.
MBA.
No, an MBA, like Master's of Business. No, yeah, I was an
See,
MBA.
that's that
What if I just started lying to
stupidity.
you guys? Yeah, actually, I played with Jordan. I played
Oh,
with
sweet.
Jordan. He won
I'm
like
sorry.
he
I'm
won
a
like six.
dumbass. Please continue.
He
I'm
just
actually
No, I
fucking
meant like
stupid, and I think it's pretty cool.
He just
it
thinks
is cool.
you ball because you're brown. That's all it is. He
Yeah, you're
What's
like one of them
crazy is
Blake Griffin types, right?
well, I said NBA, but I actually was a really good basketball player, which I don't tell people because I'm so short. But I put a video out on. Well, the reason my special is called Iraqi Born, Georgia Bred, it's based on an article that was written about me by the local paper. That's the title of it. Iraqi Born, Georgia Bred is because I played basketball, and the first paragraph is hilarious. It's like he dribbles down the court to a sea of opposing fans chanting USA, USA, and saying Saddam Hussein Jr., which they did, which I thought was hilarious.
Oh
But
shit.
so that's a different like subject. But like when I was in the corporate world, like I didn't start doing comedy until I was 33. So I know a little bit about like, accounting and like the economy or whatever. And people, like I used to get in arguments with people, first Trump administration, and they would just be like, dude, I know so much more about like macroeconomics than you, and I still don't have the confidence at all to say the things that I say compared to you. They're just like, where'd you learn that from your fucking professors? It's like, yeah. How's that like? How's that making your argument stronger? Like, you know what I mean? Where'd you learn that from people that know stuff about that taught it to you? It's like, yeah. What are you trying to say?
Yeah.
You know?
Just my personal theory on it. I think that as the world has trudged on and as people have grown for the most part, I think that in most other regions of the country, we got to a point where people stopped hitting their kids, and in the South, no one did. So the kids just kept getting hit and being like, no, you're going to drive a lifted truck. You're going to fucking be dumb, and you're going to vote for Trump.
That's brilliant, because that's also something they brag about, like being dumb, and also like, oh, I hit my kid. Just like, okay, you're bragging about that. Like, just like, I don't read, I hit my kids. It's like, are you saying that in a cocky kind of tone? Because it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah. And they don't say like, oh yeah, I spank my children when they're out of line. Like I hit my fucking children, CPS.
Yeah, totally. And it's the people that try to justify by like going, I was hit when I was growing up, and look how it turned out. I'm like, that is not a good argument at all. Like, dude, actually look at how you turned out.
Yeah, right.
Maybe really look at that.
Being morbidly obese and moderately depressed.
Yeah.
Look at how you turned out.
Totally.
Shit, dude, I just attacked myself and I didn't even mean to.
Where did you grow up in the South? Like where?
We're both in the South Mississippi, so like right on the Gulf of America, brother. Right on the Gulf of America.
Mississippi. So
I
you guys definitely, you know what's up.
Oh
Mississippi's
hell
like,
yeah.
yeah, Mississippi's like, the sort of the ground zero for all
Yeah.
of southern.
Oh dude.
But also, like, again, it's like a lot of great shit comes out of Mississippi. It's like the worst things like spawn the most amazing, like,
Yeah.
art and and like, when conservative right wing people find out a band is like liberal, or it's like, dude, I mean, do not look into any of your favorite movies, directors, musicians, comedians if you're worried about that,
dude,
because good art is not made by
when
conservative right wing
there was a
people.
conservative
Besides
right
Kid
wing
Rock.
guy a few years ago that like said his favorite band was Rage Against the Machine, and that almost broke
Oh,
my brain. I'm like, what?
was he like, when'd you get all political, Tom Morello?
Yeah, that's what they
Right.
do. And I'm like, do you not pay attention to the fucking lyrics? Like, what are you
Fuck,
doing?
fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Is he talking about, like, is he talking to immigrants? No, he's talking, he's not talking to the people you think he's talking to.
No, he's like, hell yeah, Tom, get him out of our country, brother.
Oh my God, Rage Against the Machine is a hilarious example of somebody being like, I did not know their political leanings at all.
Mm.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man, growing up in the South's a real trip. Like, I remember, like, personally, like, growing up, I would, like, people called me gay for not being able to name a Saints player because I didn't watch football. Like,
hilarious.
it's shit like that where, like, they take pride in, like, the most, like, trivial, like I remember, like, having conversations as, like, a 10-year-old and people being like, what's your favorite hunting rifle? And I'm like, I'm 10. I like fucking Batugan. How about you?
Oh, you're definitely gay, dude.
Yeah, dude. Batugan's fucking gay.
No one ever said
Yu-Gi-Oh's
that,
where
like,
it's at, pussy.
no one's ever like, dude, you're fucking gay, and it's totally fine.
Right.
Like,
It's like you're fucking gay and you're okay with me. You're always safe in my home.
yeah. I remember growing up and somebody could not get it through their head that somebody would be gay. So they'd be like, so they show a picture of a woman, they're like, so this does nothing for you. Like, you don't, these titties do nothing for you. It's like, they're not attracted to that one. You can give an example after, okay, so this her ass. Nothing, like, you don't think she's hot. It's like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude, what's wrong with you?
And like if you show that guy like a picture of like a big swinging dick, he'd be like, "Oh, whoa, come on, man, that's fucking gross."
How'd that get in my bookmarks?
Yeah, right. Like, oh fuck, what is that, Roger? Oh fuck, you get out of my face.
I mean, I didn't mean to screenshot all those. I mean, they're not. That's not my dick.
Yeah, that's not my grinder. I mean, that's not my. Get out of my house, dude. You're fucking gay.
I'm on Christian Tinder.grinder just for the conversations.
Yeah, just for the connection.
Yeah, I want to pull like in the closet gay people that are in the South side and be like, just trust me. Once you're okay with it yourself, you're gonna have a way better life than I could ever even think of. All my gay friends, go move to a city and see how amazing your life could be, because like when you're a small town, you're like, hey, let me take you to Midtown Atlanta and let me show you how amazing gay men live. They're happy. They're accomplished in these difficult, like, occupation. Like, this guy's an anesthesiologist. He also likes to rave for 3 days at a time. It's like they're living their dream.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
Dude, I think this could be like a great idea. Like if the three of us start like a non-profit charity built around just taking members of the Republican Party to New York and getting them railed by
Yeah.
dudes.
Totally, dude. I mean, I would be down for that. I'm like, look, you're gonna love it. Just head down, plow through it. That's gonna be the name of our company. Head down, plow through it.
Hell yeah,
Remember,
dude. Just Republican rails.
yeah. So you're gonna take this pill. You're gonna all of a sudden realize why techno is sometimes sounds good, and you're gonna stay up till the morning until brunch. But either way, hey, you're not gonna be able to go back to your family because you're now superior to them.
And it's always the people that are loudest about it. Like you got the conservative leaders or whatever that are constantly just like going
Totally.
against gay people and stuff like that. And those are the guys that always get caught in a seedy hotel room with a bag of coke and a gay stripper or whatever.
Senator
It's like
Craig.
it's like doth protest too much,
Yeah.
always.
Senator, I forgot his first name, but Senator Craig, who was the loudest anti-gay sort of congressman for years. He got caught in a way that's like almost like if you saw a movie that was a satire of this, what we're talking about, you'd be like, this is too over the top to be anywhere resembling reality. He got caught in a bathroom in the airport blowing a black dude who he paid to let him suck his dick. It's like he hit that gay, but he's like, you just did the craziest gay thing that's possible. You're like, first of all, you could have just sucked some dude's dick if you just like went to certain places. Like, no, with the bathroom in the airport's like, here's cash. Can I please suck your dick? I hate myself. It's like, dude, and then you're railing against the people that you are the whole time.
And it's like Trump's going against trans people so hard. I just wonder, like, did a trans woman break his fucking heart into a million pieces?
Well, you know about Musk, right? Why he's so anti-trans, right?
No.
Oh, you don't? This is going to blow your mind after we get off this podcast.
I know this story, dude. This is fucking wild.
His daughter's trans.
Yeah.
She's like, goes all, you know what I mean? He thinks all of the wokeness made her that way or whatever. But it's like the trans thing is like, okay, we just signed some legislation to keep trans people out of collegiate sports. It's like, there's approximately 10 trans athletes in college sports out of 500,000.
Yeah.
That's literally, those are real numbers. It's like, what did you just do here? Like,
why are you going after literally like 8 people? You're writing legislation against like 8 people. Like, why are you doing what you're doing? There's no fucking reason
to protect our daughters. It's like, okay, from something that will never happen, and even if it does, and she loses 100-meter like freestyle to somebody who's trans, that's going to be like something that's awful. Like, I mean, like, it's crazy.
And like the thing about the bathroom thing, with all these Karens screaming about, I don't want a man in the bathroom. Like, do you realize that trans people are only like 0.005% of the population? Like, by the numbers, you probably have never even been in the same room as a trans person. Ever.
Yeah. But also, like, how are you checking? Like, are you looking?
I mean, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, I just, this whole world has just gone fucking upside down. And like, and like, I'm sitting there watching him do all this legislation. Like, why are you changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico? Like, who fucking cares?
Now that I can get behind, brother. It's been theirs for too long. It's time that we take it back.
Why is it even a Gulf of, what is it even a Gulf? I mean, I get Gulf of America. How about Water of America? Something fucking more on the nose.
I mean,
stupid.
He's writing legislation. It's like, it's the fire hose method. He's throwing so much shit out there that it's like you can't even pinpoint. It's like you're getting hit with all the dumb shit. Like, he's getting rid of paper straws, like writing legislation. But like,
I know.
What the hell is slipping by while we're paying attention to all that shit?
So much. I mean, you're exactly right. Like, there's a clip of Steve Bannon in the first administration talking to 60 Minutes, I think, and he says exactly what you just said. He called it the fire hose. He said the first few weeks of the presidency is going to be one thing after another. We can get 3 or 4 things at the each day. They're going to run with 1 or 2 of them, and they can't keep up with everything. And he just says it, and that's exactly what's happening right now. So it's like, I mean, remember when like things with like any one of these things that we're talking about like 10, 12, 15 years ago would have been an issue one day, it would have been like jarring anyone. Like, now it's just like, oh, so somebody's in the Treasury's payment system.
Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine if like during Barack Obama, when he goes in office, he did all this shit, and then you got George Soros like going into the fucking Treasury Department. The fucking GOP would have melted. We would have seen their brains melt out of their heads.
Or imagine if like a bunch of black people went to the Capitol
yeah.
to overturn an election and that had weapons. I mean, would more than one or two have been shot? Or would people just come out of retirement and be like, "You see what's happening down there? Let's go shoot them." Instead of like, it's amazing. Only like two or three people died. Like everybody that came through those windows should have been shot. They're literally telling you they're threatening. Like a lot of them are armed. It's like, bam, bam. It's like it's like insane. I mean, it's like imagine if like I don't know, like you're saying, like if Obama was like I don't know. The Obama one was like, that's when I was like, oh, because they all believe all of this polarization started with Obama. He just really divided us. It's like, no, he divided you because you couldn't get it through your head that a black dude was president, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, if that happened at my work, I would also kind of just be like, fucking come in, I guess.
Yeah, come on in.
I was like,
I like your hat. I like your hat. Come on in. I also don't like Nancy Pelosi. Come on in.
Yeah, it's like I'm fucking how many, like we have to look into like how close everyone was to retirement that was working that day. Because if they're vested, then I get it.
I can tell you this much. If a black guy had gone into an office of somebody,
and that's all the time we have today, ladies and gentlemen.
If a black guy had smeared shit on the wall like that one guy did, we would never hear from that black guy ever again. He would have been thrown under Guantanamo Bay.
Jamie, can we clip that?
Hey, I'm just saying, if it like you're right, if it was black people or brown people that had attacked the Capitol on the 6th,
it would have been or pardoning them. They pardoned them.
Yeah.
And they don't even flinch about it. They're like, we're about law and order. It's like, well, he just pardoned people that like beat cops like and killed a few of them. It's like, yeah, but they were patriots. It's like, am I having an acid flashback? Am I in a different fucking timeline? I think the whole galaxy is watching us right now going, this last season of this fucking planet is awesome. It's must see TV
dude,
because
we're the love and basketball of the fucking universe.
Exactly.
you ever
You're like, dude,
have you ever seen Vacation, National Lampoon's Vacation, when they're going through the ghetto and he's like, roll them up? And they roll the window.
Yeah,
That's what the aliens do when
flight?
they come by. You know, they're flying by Earth and just like roll them up.
We're like the redneck planet, you know, and they're just like, oh man, if the aliens come here, we got to be able to arm ourselves. It's like, do you understand if a species was advanced enough to transcend time, space, and matter to get here, we're not going to be fighting them. Like we we have nuclear weapons. It's like they manipulate the matter to get here. You know, all those movies where they're like, Will Smith's going to fly that F-16 and fight them. It's like, dude, if they're here, they can do what they want. They're like way too.
Even on a smaller scale, when you got all these crazy right-wing people that are like for the the Second Amendment people that are like, I need all the guns and like all that shit because I need to be able to defend myself against the government. Like, you realize that you have an AK-47, the government has fucking drones and missiles. Like, there's nothing you can do.
Nothing you can do. My friend, I don't know if you guys knew, he passed away, Kenny DeForest. Did you know him, comedian?
Not personally, but I've heard of him.
He had great jokes like along those lines where he'd just be like, if you need like a M16, you to defend your family, you did something. There's something you did to have to defend your family. and he's like, and the trans bathroom thing is like, you know, what if the trans person goes in there and molests, you know, kids? Like, what do you think about that? It's like, well, it's super great that that's already illegal. We already decided that would be illegal.
Yeah, that's already a crime. Well, what if the trans go in the bathrooms and start murdering people?
Instead of
I think the problem's the murdering.
They're a lot safer with them than they are with youth pastors. I said what I said.
Yeah, true. I want them to wait for something to happen before they like try to pass legislation. You know what I mean? They're like, well, what if it's like, hey, how about this? Why don't we wait for something to happen and then act on it instead of being like, well, shit. I mean, it could happen. It's like, well, just wait for it to happen before you're like, trans people might molest somebody. Let's go ahead and vilify them.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. Thank God that I can just take a stroll down the beach and dip my toes into the fresh, cool waters of the Gulf of America. Thank God for this country.
It's going to be in Atlanta soon, the Gulf of America, because climate. I don't believe in
Yeah.
climate. Do y'all believe in the climate?
Nah, climate's not real.
Climate's not real.
And I don't believe in change either. I think everything should go back to the way it was.
I know it was awesome back when, like, when no one had rights except the people that deserved them.
Hell yeah.
Hey, but at least he got rid of pennies. We don't have to worry about pennies anymore, guys.
And that's something that I can get behind, actually, because I saw a thing today that says like it costs 3.7 cents to make 1 penny.
Yeah, but
so
I
then
thought
obviously get rid of the fucking pennies.
Well, I thought he was going to bring down grocery prices, but I guess we're just getting rid of actual money.
Yeah, we're throwing money out the window. What we're going to do is we're going to send the pennies to Mexico, and we're going to make Mexico pay for the pennies. And we're going to have a penny to Mexican exchange rate where we're giving them the pennies with an illegal alien that they're forced to take back across the Gulf of America.
All undocumented pennies gotta go.
All undocumented pennies, dude. Whether they were manufactured here or not, it doesn't matter.
Look, if they're here and they're not documented, they're breaking the law.
Yeah,
I mean, they're breaking like.
What would Abraham Lincoln would have said if an illegal penny with his likeness?
He probably would have set him free just like he did last time. What are we talking about again? I don't remember. I'm just racist.
And on that note, we got to start wrapping this thing up, boys.
Yeah. What a shame, man. What I said was probably going to happen. We just had fun and bullshitted this whole episode. But Gilbert, it was.
Well, we'll have you back on again.
Great to riff with.
Yeah,
man. We'd love to have you back anytime. Please tell everyone at home, where they can get your special and follow you on everything.
You can follow me. I'm going to be on the road with Chris D'Elia and Bill Cosby and the next week. Yeah, right. So you guys check me.
I'm a fan of their later work.
Yeah, their later work when they finally got real.
No, don't drink anything that's been given to you by the.
Yeah. Do not sleep on Bill Cosby. So you can find me on Instagram at Gilbert Lawand, and my special Iraqi born Georgia bred is on Apple TV, Amazon, YouTube TV, lots of places. It's going to be free soon, so in like a month. It's weird. I've never done a special. It's kind of like I do not like promoting myself. Like other comics are like, "Hey, have you seen my latest clip?" I just hate I'm just not used to that. But seriously, have you seen my latest clip? Go check it out. redclaycomedy.com. You want to check out the festival. And what else? I think that's about all my self-promotion stuff. But this has been fun. I love riffing more than I even like doing comedy. It's talking to comics about bullshit.
Hell yeah, dude.
Well, Jacob, we got anything on the docket? What's coming up?
Not much happening now. We have the vlog that's going to be coming out on the Patreon later this month. So, if you want to see that, if you want to see the crazy challenge stuff that we've done in the past, like you want to see me get tased, see us eat, crazy hot sauce, doing just the craziest shit you can imagine. Go to patreon.com/OM podcast for as little as $1 a month. You get access to all that stuff and you help keep the lights on for us over here for the boys. So get in the Patreon.
Well, let's go ahead and get out of here. Thank you again, Gilbert, for coming on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here. And we'll have you back again soon.
I'd love to. Thank you so much for having me. This is fun.
And if you want to email us at OpenMicersPodcast@gmail.com. We're at OpenMicers.com is our website, and Linktr.com/OpenMicersPodcast takes you everywhere you need to go. All the ways to give us money, the Patreon, all that good stuff. And of course, don't forget, go to BRezCoffeeCo.com and use the code OMPodcast at checkout for 10% off your order. We love you all, and we'll see you right here next week.
We should get rid of the dollar because George Washington looks like a girl.
Yeah.
Oh, he does look like a girl. I mean, I love that about him.
take them wood teeth out, baby.
You know what? I didn't think about this.
Teeth out and get that powdered wig out.
He's getting rid of the penny because Abe Lincoln is on the penny. is he going to get rid of the $5 bill now? Is he trying to erase Abraham Lincoln and everything?
No, he's just gonna take Abraham Lincoln off of it, and he's gonna put like someone dumb on. He's gonna put Ronald Reagan on the $5 bill.
He's gonna put Rush Limbaugh on there. Like,
yeah, gee, rest in peace, the boy Rush Limbaugh.
I know he gave him a Congressional Medal of Honor. Do you remember that? It's like, you know who deserves that? Who's a hero? You forget things like that. You're like, that is fucking nuts.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Thank you for watching on YouTube.
Thanks,
we'll
man.
see you guys next week.